In 793 AD, a small band of Vikings sailed down to the eastern coast of England in order to plunder a monastery. 50 years later, a huge force of around 3,000 Vikings arrived on English shores, and they wanted to conquer the whole England. Vikings traveled from Norway, Denmark and Sweden to Britain. They landed in the north and east of England, North Scotland, Shetland and Orkney Islands, Isle of Man, Wales and North East Ireland. Vikings were farmers, skillful craft workers and fighters. Their children played with homemade toys, for example wooden dolls. They also played football, sailed model boats and made whistles from the leg bones of geese. The family lived together in a large home called a longhouse, which was built from wood or stone and had a thatched or turf roof. It consisted of a single room where they ate, slept, cooked and worked. There was only natural light inside the house, so Vikings used hanging stone lamps.
The Vikings' diet was varied and nourishing. The Vikings raised sheep, goats, cows, pigs and horses for their milk and meat. Meat and fish featured strongly in the Viking diet. Food was eaten from bowls, platters or wooden trenchers. The head of the household sat with his wife in a chair called the high seat. The other dinners arranged themselves on the edge of platforms built out from the walls. They ate off trestle tables, which were set up specially for meal times. The early Vikings were pagans. They had no formal religious structure, no churches or temples. The Vikings worshipped and made sacrifices in the open and regarded natural features as sacred objects. Odin the One-Eyed was the father of the gods and god of war, courage, wisdom and poetry. The wisest, mightiest and most mysterious god, Odin was a rather unpleasant character with many strange supernatural powers. Thor was a god of thunder. He symbolized everything that was good in a Viking warrior. Frey and Freya are a very generous pair. The Vikings prayed to them in the spring to bless their crops and in marriage to bless their union and grant them many children. Part god, part devil Loki could change his shape at will. He stirred up trouble among the gods. Vikings' art is called Norse art. The Vikings didn't create works of art simply to be admired. They decorated many of the things they used. They loved abstract and intricate animal designs and multiple interlacing lines. The Vikings were great poets and storytellers. On long cold winter evenings, as they sat around the fire, the Vikings told tales about feuds, battles, kings, gods and heroes. They didn't read their stories from books. They learned the words by heart.
The community would gather together at a meeting called a theme to settle problems and make decisions. Viking laws were not written down but passed from person to person orally. Norse women had rights and could own land and divorce their husbands. At the top of Viking society was the king. He spent a lot of money to keep his kingdom safe and his followers loyal. Below the king were the nobles or wealthy Vikings known as earls. Then there were everyday people, the carls. At the bottom of the pile were the thralls or slaves.
Eric the Red was a Scandinavian sailor and discoverer who founded the first settlement in Greenland. The nickname Red received for hair color and beard. The most famous Viking explorations were made by Eric the Red and his remarkable family. Leif Erikson the Lucky was a Scandinavian sailor who first visited North America before Christopher Columbus. He was a ruler and Baptist in Greenland, the son of Eric the Red. He carried on his father's footsteps.
In women's tombs were often found iron sickles and stone discs for spinning. Men were usually buried with weapons. Some modern town names are based on Viking words, for example the suffix "by", which was the Scandinavian word for farm or village, plus the word "djur" as deer, are making Derby. Nearly 1,000 general words used in standard English came from Old Norse, such as egg, dirt, husband and give. Mace Howe near Stromness, Orkney, is a chambered tomb which was broken into during the Viking Age. The visitors left graffiti in runes, so this is the finest collection of Scandinavian runes in the British Isles. The famous Christmas tree in Christianity is a cultural reflex of the Norse Yggdrasil, an immense holy ash tree that is believed to be the universe.
Created using Powtoon.